All right, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's Adanna. So we're doing this thing where we are researching schools. I just want to make sure that it's live up on my channel so I can go ahead and just check that out for you guys really quickly. But we're going to be going live every Tuesday, and what I'm going to be doing is researching the schools that you guys asked me to research. I'm essentially going to get through all of the programs that are either developing or in production already for PA programs, but I mean, we're going to start with the ones that you guys really want to see. So what I got last week was Emory and Yale. So what I'm going to be doing today is Emory's program. I will do Yale's next week unless somebody else dumps a bunch of comments in the comment section below on a school that they want me to actually research, and it's not either of that program. Okay, so we'll do that. But let's go. So I like to again go to the CASPA site. Here you can click on the participating programs, and you'll see all of the developing programs, the ones that are already in existence, which are these, the participating programs, and then you'll have all of the developing programs as well. And this is done in alphabetical order. So look at all these programs. This is a lot, you guys. Oh, actually, let me make sure that I'm sharing my screen with you all. Share screen. Let me share this one. Okay. All right. So these are all of the developing programs here down at the bottom. So newly in production, and then the participating programs. And I want to make this a little bit larger for you guys so you guys can see it bigger. Let me see how this one. I don't know how to, there we go. Let's do that one. So it's a little bit bigger for you guys so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. Let's see how that looks. Let's try this one. Okay. Hi, Leah. Good morning. Good morning to you. Okay, so these are all of the developing programs here. You can see all the participating programs, and we're going to go to Emory. This is done in alphabetical order. Okay, so Emory University is in Georgia. Their deadline, you guys, on the right-hand side, it has the deadline for you all. Their deadline is already September 1st.
Did you fix it?
What? Yeah, I think it's fixed. Look, it's fixed. Aunt coming down to make sure that I got you guys set up right. Okay, so here on the right hand side, you can see what the deadline is for the application. So their deadline has already passed, but I mean, moving forward for you guys to know, all the deadlines are on the right and you can check them out there. Okay, all right, so let me just go to Emory and I will go straight to the PA program, and I can share that aspect with you guys as well. And again, leave your comment in the comment section below on what schools you will want me to do next. So far, I have Yale as the main school, but there are other programs, and obviously there are over 300 PA programs, so I have no problem doing all of them. Okay. All right. So this is Emory's PA program. This is their actual department. It says Department of Family and Preventative Medicine. Let's go down, Physician Assistant Program. All right, so they are recognized as one of the top 5 PA programs in the country, which is cool. I mean, I guess that's something cool that you can say, yeah, I went to one of the top 5 PA programs in the country. I don't know if your potential job offers are going to ask you, hey, what program did you go to specifically? I wasn't really asked, but it is something that you can boast about. So program goals to support students, all their training activities, recruit, mentor, and support. a diverse student body. That is good. So, I mean, I think as we continue on, you're going to see a lot of schools promoting this diversity and inclusion. It's important because we live in a diverse world. And so the fact that this is one of their program goals is important. So I think that is something that you all should absolutely be looking at as well when it comes to schools that you're interested in. And then they have this community engagement as well and outreach. And so you can click on all of these different tabs to exactly see what they're talking about. This looks like kind of like a mobile clinic here is what they have going on, which is pretty dope, to be able to provide care in like rural areas, in a camper that you can move. Student clinicians, volunteers, rural South Georgia to provide 2 weeks of free high quality medical and dental care to over 1,600 migrant farm workers and their families in June. That's really cool. So I like that. At my program, we did, they were kind of like, it was in rural Virginia as well. And they were little like pop-up clinics that we did throughout the year, which is cool. And so the fact that you can have like this mobile aspect is pretty dope. All right, so on their website, they have what a PA is. So be sure to know what a PA is. But what you came here for is, specifically the prerequisite requirements. Let's look at their accreditation status. Always good to check out. So granted accreditation, continued, Emory. Okay, so that is good. You can be continued, provisional, or probation. Probation means there's still some things that you need to work on, or else you will lose accreditation. Continued means you're doing good stuff, and probation means you're just a new program in developing. All right, look at their class, looking pretty diverse, diverse group. May want to include a little bit more diversity, but there's a large amount of people there that shows a good amount of diversity. So that's pretty good. Let's see, history of Emory. So these are the things that you might want to look at. Obviously, if you are interested in the program, this is where you kind of do your deep dive. Look into the history of the program, look into their goals, because you want to be able to actually have something to talk to them about when you get offered that interview, right? So we're going to be speaking interviews into existence. So if you're interested in this program, if you've applied to this program, when you get an interview, you're going to need to know what the goals of the school are, and just have an idea of it and have an idea of what they're doing. Hey, I like the fact that you guys are providing care to the rural farm workers in Georgia. That's something I'm really interested in. I want to be a part of that mobile clinic. And if we have the opportunity to do that in our first year of PA school, what a blessing that would be. These are things that you can use to talk about. And so it's important to actually have that. Okay. PA education programs. What is this? Let's look at that. Division offers a variety of educational programs developed to meet your goal. Okay. So you have the Masters of PA degree. What other program do they have? Masters of Medical Science and Physician Assistance degree, and Masters of, okay. So they offer a dual degree, which is pretty cool. If you're interested in doing public health and PA, so you can work for, your public health department, in whatever state you may want with that public health degree. That's something, that you can actually do. And I like the fact that they have both degrees offered there. I didn't know that about Emory. So I'm learning new things here myself. I thought it was literally just the PA degree, the Masters of Medical Science. Their program is 29 months long. Okay. So I told you guys before that PA programs can be anywhere from 2 years to 3 years, be it 24 months to 36 months. And theirs is kind of like right in the mid range of what PA programs usually are. They're around like 24 to 27 months. This one is 29 months. Let's see if they say how long this one is. It doesn't, but you can go into it and I guess you would figure out exactly how long that is. So that's cool. They offer 2 degrees. Okay. Let me go back. Let's look at their faculty and staff. Let's see who would be teaching you guys. And if you have any questions for me, please leave them in the comment section and I will be sure to make sure that I can answer that. All right, come on, faculty and staff. Let's see. Oh, look at these people. They actually look like they having fun. They cool. Who's this guy in the middle? This one, he about that life. Everybody's looking at him. Maybe he is the director of the program. Let's see. All right, so Jeremy Amayo is assistant professor. Susano Alfonso, she is the medical director. William Bryson, Tabitha is administrative assistant. Shelly Ann Fluker, associate professor. She's an MD. That's cool. Amber Davis, PAC. Antonio Graham, he's the assistant medical director. Jody is the associate program director. All right, let me see. Where is the director? All right, so Kay Johnson Bull, she's director of admissions. Associate director is Alexander Kendall. What's interesting is that the director, wherever he is at the bottom, which is, I mean, typically they're like first. Lakita Smith, assistant professor. Business manager. Y'all got a lot of different coordinates. All right, so maybe I missed it. Let's go back up because they don't know if I saw something that said director. So she's the program coordinator. Does that mean she's the director? Let's see. Nope, nothing there. Not giving me any information there. Oh, here it is. Mahal Lund, program director. All right. So Miss Lund is the program director. She's a distinguished fellow. And then you have these associates. So who's this guy? Who's this? Who's this guy right here? I don't know. But I want to be in his class because he looks fun. Everybody's pointing to him. But there you have it. Those are your faculty and staff. Okay. Meet our PA students, really. Oh, Emily Lynn. Is this all of their PA students? No. I expected my interview at a top 5 school to be intimidating and abrasive, but all I found was warmth, welcoming, and genuine interest. Oh, that's nice. I'm going to promote the school. All right, so that's cool that they have a couple of their students on their program graduates. I don't really care about their program graduate. Oh, wait, maybe we do. Maybe they're talking about specifically no, these are all alumni stuff. Nah, I don't care that much. All right, let's go to admissions. So admissions requirements. This is what we came here for. All right, let's see. All right, so applicants need to have a cumulative and science GPA of 3.0 on a 4.0 scale, okay? You have to have gotten a baccalaureate degree from colleges and like a bachelor's degree from an accredited college. If you got it outside of the U.S., you must complete at least 1 year as a full-time student at a U.S. or Canadian regional accredited institution. So technically, again, to my international students that keep emailing me and DMing me about going to PA school in the United States, this is another program that you can actually attend as an international student. We spoke about Adventist University. Was it? No, it was Advent University, their PA program. So we spoke about them last week. This week, we're talking about Emory. They both accept international students, but for this particular program at Emory, you have to have completed a full year or 24 semester credit hours at an accredited U.S. or Canadian regional institution. Okay, so that is important for you to know. That's your in there. All right, if you had any questions about that. Okay, let's let's go to prerequisite college courses. All right, so you need natural sciences, a minimum of 23 semester hours. So, I mean, if you're interested, like if you take these courses right here, if you take all of these prereqs, you are one away from your actual requirements that you would need, okay? So biology, which is generally speaking what you're going to have to do, biology with the lab, general chemistry. And obviously, like this is just, this is one semester of biology right here. And general chemistry, this is like two semesters because you would have 3 credits and a 1 credit lab. Okay, so 8 semester credit hours, or 12, what is this, 12 quarter hours? That's essentially a year of chemistry, okay? Anatomy and physiology, 8 semester credit hours, and organic chemistry or biochemistry, either or. You need a statistics. I don't know if I don't see them making like any specifics on what kind of statistics. So if you're concerned that, that you took biostatistics and then you want to take or general statistics, which one will actually work, just ask them, but it just says statistics. So just know that. And then they recommend micro and genetics. All right, it says each course must be completed at a grade level of C or better and must be completed prior to July/August class matriculation, okay? So again, something for you to remember, that it does not mean that you cannot have outstanding courses by the time of application. So you can be completing your micro and your anatomy and physiology or like biochemistry while you apply, because their deadline is, September. So maybe you're taking biochemistry next semester and it's a planned course for you. So you can still apply with some of these things outstanding. However, they have to be completed by July or August, because apparently I believe Emory was the school that has the early matriculation, which it would be July, and then their general matriculation, which is August, okay? All courses are subject to approval by the admissions committee and cannot be taken on a pass-fail basis as a CLEP credit or audited. Okay, so again, things for you to know about: you cannot have a pass-fail, CLEP, or audited class. You actually have to have a grade for them, okay? GRE, official scores within the last 5 years. Are required by all candidates. The school that we reviewed last week was not required. It was just kind of like recommended. It would be taken into consideration. The PA CAT was required, but for Emory, we're saying that it is required for you to take the GRE, okay? Let's see. So it doesn't have anything specifically yet on what their average score is, and so we'll continue to look and see. A minimum of 2,000 direct patient care hours is what is required to be like an applicant for this program, okay? So EMT, paramedic, health educator, RN, patient care attendant or nurse aide, clinical assistant. When you did the Peace Corps, all of these are things. Therapist, research assistant, those are hands-on direct patient care experience. These hours must be completed at the time of submitting the application, okay? So you have to have at the minimum 2,000 hours at the time of submitting the application. CASPO, you can always add more hours in there, but obviously they want this already done, okay? Emory PA program does not grant advanced placement. All students must complete all Emory PA programs courses. Health experience requirements. Isn't that where we're at? Let's see. So here, ooh, whoa, you guys, look at this, man. Okay, so your direct patient care hours does not include shadowing time. So that is something to keep in mind. But this is what I was like mind boggled about. This says the average accepted applicant has completed over 7,000 hours 7,000 hours, y'all. Okay, let's do some math on that. So if you're working a 40-hour week, let's say 7,000 divided by 40. A 40-hour week, that is 175 weeks. So 175 divided by 52 weeks in the year. That's over 3 years of direct patient care experience is what these applicants are coming with. Okay, it says 3.3, and that's if you're working a 40-hour week every week in the year. So clearly these students are coming, after they either have been like CNAs and stuff throughout their undergraduate degree, and then they've been working like consistently in that, and then maybe you've taken a gap year or two, or they take 3 or so gap years after graduating from undergrad, and then they apply to this program. But 7,000 hours is what the average accepted applicant is getting, meaning that there are people with even more or slightly less. That is interesting. So keep in mind, to be competitive, you have to have, you have to be hitting these marks. And then these are the various different, like specialties, I guess you can say, experience that they have come to the table with. All right, man. That's a lot. That's a lot of hours. Okay, additional requirements. So if English is not your first language, then you would need to take the TOEFL exam, and CASPA and supplemental applications, including okay, so their supplemental application is $75, man. So again, a CASPA application, if Emory is your initial school, then it is $175. If another school is your initial school, that school would be $175, and then every subsequent school like Emory would be $55. But on top of that, you have to pay a $75 supplemental application fee if you are offered a supplemental application. Okay, and that is non-refundable whether you get accepted or not. And it says you need to have 2 letters of recommendations or reference letters with that. Let's go into their technical standard. Let's dig a little bit deeper and see what that's about. Okay, so it's just talking about like what the attributes of their students should be to be successful in the program. Okay. And we can back up out of that, back up out of there. Applications. So admissions required. Did we do application already? All right. So CASPA opened at April 30th of 2021. And again, their program is already closed in terms of submitting applications. That closed September 1st of this year. But likely it will be, again, CASPA will open up around that last week of April next year in 2022. And likely their deadline will be again September 1st of 2022. So you can get a head start by looking at some of these requirements and understanding when is a good time to apply, making sure that you have all of these things by sent in by June, July, so that you have enough time to get all of the application material in. So their application obviously is available April once CASPA opens. Deadline is the 1st. Interview process. All right. So the purpose of the interview day at Emory program is to assure a good match between the program and the applicant. The most qualified applicants will be interviewed for a full day virtual or on-site interview on a rolling basis. Apply early, but not before the minimum required clinical hours are obtained. Again, so that minimum hours of 2,000, you have to have that before you apply. Okay, that cannot be outstanding. There are some classes that can be, but the requiring hours cannot be outstanding. Furthermore, just again, keep in mind that their average student is coming in with 7,000 hours. So that minimum requirement of 2,000 hours, you're literally just kind of scraping that barrel right there. So try to kick that up before you really think about applying to this program. And they offer either virtual or on-site, which is cool, because that will cut down on some of the money that you would have to spend, on the application process, because the interview is all part of this application process. And when you think about it, you're spending money on applying to these programs, you're spending money on supplemental applications, and then you're gonna have to spend money on travel if you do have to go to on-site. So these are all things to keep in mind. It says the Emory PA interview day includes interaction with their students, didactic and clinical year students, a virtual tour of Emory, and interaction with faculty. There is a multiple mini interview format, which again, that's kind of what I did, where I had like little interviews I had like 3 interviews with different groups of faculty. And then we had a group interview as well. And this is used to assess, as they said, communication skills, understanding of medical ethical issues or health policy. That's what my group interview was. Problem solving, maturity, and interpersonal skills. MMIs are not used to assess an applicant's medical knowledge, which is cool. I mean, you're going to PA school to learn medical knowledge, right? So it's nice that they're not trying to assess that. You have a $1,000 non-refundable seat deposit if you're offered a position, and you have 2 weeks to accept after you've been offered. Okay, and so if for whatever reason that this is the school for you, but you're trying to wait to hear from another program, you only have 2 weeks before your spot is lost. So that is something to keep in mind. All right, let's see what else is here. We did technical standards. Let's go to financial matters. Okay. So, I mean, this is actually pretty good. Yeah, this is actually pretty good. So their tuition for the first, I guess, 1 year is actually it's like $90,000. All right, so for the fall, it's $15,000 each semester. Your fall, spring, and summer. I don't know what these athletic fees and activity fees are. Mental health and counseling fee. All right, so if take advantage of all of these things because you're paying for it. Clinical administrative fees, immunizations, transfer fee for new students. Okay, housing fee. Do they provide housing? I'm paying $325 for a housing fee. Hopefully they're providing you with housing. I don't know, but anyway, I don't know what this housing fee is about, if it's just housing in the program per se, or actually helping you find housing, but you're paying for all of these different things. It comes out to be $47,923, essentially $48,000 for that first year. And in addition to that, you have other fees that first year of $9,000, health insurance, which, I mean, I don't know if you can bypass this if you have your own health insurance, but health insurance, smartphone, computer, parking. Look, if they giving you a smartphone and some health insurance and internet access and all of these other things, then great. I don't know specifically what all these fees are about, but this might be something you might want to look into, because this is $9,000 additional dollars that you're going to have to pay on top of the $48,000 that you're already paying. Okay, so almost $60,000 for that first year. It's saying 56,361, and that is for 1 year. So you're going to double that. Emory's program is 7 semesters, so $126,000 is the total cost of going to Emory's PA program. Oh, let's look here. So here's their dual degree. I don't know. So, I mean, there's a dual degree aspect of things. And if you want to look at that, just hit, overview of those costs. Let me see if I can just go there and share that screen with you. Financing your degree. No, let's just hold on. Sorry, guys. Let me just find this. Okay. Let me go here and I'm going to stop sharing that screen so that I can share the other screen with you all. This is for the dual degree if you're interested in that. So it has 4 semesters of public health, or you can do a 3-semester accelerated public health, or just a master's of science in public health. So different costs here, 18 at the lowest end, 24,000 at the high end. The dual degree program, which is 2 semesters public health, accelerated MPH, external graduate, 28,000, masters of public health. So, I mean, it breaks it down here, but it doesn't really tell me what health and wellness, $94 per semester. So it doesn't really give you like a complete full-time semester of what everything will be, like how the PA program does. But that is something that you can look into if you're interested in that. So let's go back to Emory's main site so I can finish this off with you guys. Financial matters. Share that. Okay. All right. So let's just go back. We'll just back out of this and then go back into admissions. So we did financial matters. Let's look at the PANCE results. I love this. This is a great picture. She looks excited. I was super excited when I graduated. So I know you're feeling. I know how you feel, girl. All right. So let's look at the PANCE results. Okay, so they're doing pretty good. So they're going back all the way to 2016, which is nice. Giving you a good 5-year overview of all of their stuff. So number of candidates who took the PANCE, 52. Number of exam attempts, 54. Number of exams passed, 52, 50. Right, so 2 people didn't pass that year, but there's still national exam pass rate for class graduation year. So they were still above the national average, I would say. It's what, 93% here? Let's see, 54. I don't understand how 54 first-time PANCE takers. So 3 people, I guess, didn't pass and they took it again. Number of exams passed, 53, 54. It's still about the same. What is this? So there's 53. So 2018 was a tough year. As people, you can see that they took it several times. 67 attempts. So several people didn't pass several times. Oh, wow. Yeah, like that was a hard year for them, I guess, because the number of first-time takers that passed were 41 when 53 actually attempted. So that was rough. In 2019, only 2 didn't pass and only 1 didn't pass in 2020. So this is always good. I always like looking at the past PANCE pass rates. Man, that is a tongue twister if I've ever had one. But I always like looking at that because I think that it's important to see like what the students are doing and exactly like how it's kind of like a good indicator of like the students and the teachers, I would say, like how they help their students. All right, so this is the interview. So it's a full day interview, 7:30 to 3. They're again talking about the mini interviews, multiple mini interviews, student life tour. That's what they said, a virtual one, or if you're, I guess, in person, you might go through with them. Admissions process. It talks about how they're rolling admissions. They will contact you within 1 month of the interview to share the admissions committee decision. Man, that's a long time. So for me, I interviewed like, I think on a Wednesday or something, and then I got a call on the Friday. Like, it was pretty quick. But to wait 4 weeks, like, that's torture. But you know, at least you know that you have like a time period on exactly when they're going to contact you. And that might just be because there are a lot of people applying. So it's good to know exactly like how long you might be waiting. Candidates on the wait list are ranked and will be offered positions based on availability. Waitlist candidates who have been offered a position will have 2 weeks. Okay, so if you're offered, you have 2 weeks to give your $1,000 seat deposit. Students accepted into Emory may apply for a 1-year deferment by writing to the director before the beginning of orientation. The admissions committee will review each case and decisions are made on an individual basis. Students whose deferment request has been granted must reach out to the director of admissions no later than April 1st. Those students not granted deferment must reapply to the program through CASPA. Okay. I don't know. So does that mean that, if I'm requesting a deferment, does that, I don't necessarily need to take it, right? Like, maybe I don't need to reapply? I don't know. I would want to kind of just really clarify what this aspect of things is talking about reapplying. Because yes, you may want a deferment for some reason or another, but you know, maybe that reason changed and it has changed and you're gonna be okay. And you want to take take your acceptance again. So just be mindful of that, okay? Because if you don't get that deferment, you're going to have to reapply. All right, so we've been through all of the admissions. What is this? Profile. I don't know what that is. Okay, preceptors. Oh, so this is if you want to be a preceptor. This is the farm worker rural program thing that we read about that I showed you. Their kind of like mobile clinic that they had there. They have their graduation. PA program resources. What's this aspect of things? All right, so what I want to see really and truly is what their average students are, but I don't see where I can see that. Financial analysis, technical. We've been through all of these and this is the thing, right? Anytime I'm looking at a program, you guys, I always want to look and see like, all right, what is the average student? We obviously understand that the average student is coming in with 7,000 healthcare hours, but what are those like other things that we want to know, which is like their GPA, and you know, both cumulative and science GPA. We got the hours, but what are they coming in on with like those other tangible numbers that we can see? And I don't see that. So, I mean, you're just going to really have to shoot for the stars, because obviously you can tell already that those that are applying to this program are, you know, pretty advanced in terms of their hours, and maybe they might be super advanced in terms of their GPA as well. And so if that is the case, you don't want to be hitting the average, the minimum of a 3.0. You want to actually get to, you know, like 3.5, 3.7, somewhere up there, as close to a 4.0 as you possibly can. But that's Emory's program. I mean, we've gone through all of their pages. I don't really see anything else, anywhere else that we've missed. So what I did again to do that was just go to Google And I said, Emory University's PA program, so you can do that yourself. And then just go right ahead and see all of the things that I've gone through. You can always come back to this video and look at it, and look through what we've done together. Let me answer a couple of your questions really quickly. So Bria said, what year in college is best for applying to PA school? So I think that the best time to apply, if you're trying, and that's all dependent on if you are trying to get into PA school directly out of undergrad, or if you want to wait, right? So if you're trying to take a gap year, then it really doesn't matter, how many gap years you want to take. You want to take 1, 2, 3. Then it all depends on when you're trying to get into PA school. So for me, let's say I graduated this year, or let's say I'm in school right now and I'm about to graduate next year, then if I wanted to get into PA school right out of undergrad, I would have been applying to PA school at the end of my junior year. So I would have been like accruing all that information, my letters of recommendation, shadowing, volunteer, healthcare experience, all of that I would have been getting in my junior year of college and of undergrad. And then I would have taken that and put that into my CASPA application, which would have opened up April 30th of this year, and applied. So that while I'm going through this whole application process, my senior year, I'm interviewing, I'm getting interviews, I'm, looking at programs, and then I hopefully get an acceptance and I can immediately go into PA school, be it July or August or September or November or December, whatever the start may be, or January, wherever it is in that upcoming year, but there's no gap year. Okay. Now, if you are trying to take a gap year and you need like some extra time to get those hours that these schools are requiring, or to boost your GPA, then it really doesn't matter. It just depends on when exactly you're trying to get into PA school. So if it's in a year or 2 years, then you base your application on the cycle prior to the year that you're trying to get in. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. Leah, let's see what Leah says. Could we look at Rush or Loyola University after Yale? I mean, sure, if that's what's being asked, like I said, I typically try to just go in alphabetical order, but if there is a school that you guys are asking me to look at, I will absolutely look into those programs. And I know I got some like West Coast school requests as well. Anessa, she said, if you were interested in this school, when would you have your application submitted? So for me, like I was all after my time initially of applying to schools and realizing that the earlier you apply, the better. And Emory said it on their website, right? They said, the earlier you apply, the more chances essentially you have of, getting your application seen and getting accepted or offered an interview. So for me, if I was interested, I would have absolutely had my application ready and submitted by no later than July 1st. That would have been my particular deadline. But if you really want to like kind of get in there early, if you can, if you're not waiting on any of your undergraduate stuff to kind of get processed, then you should be able to get it in by like the second week of June. So if you can do that, because CASPA takes up to 2 weeks to actually verify your initial application, you're giving yourself a lot of leeway so that you're not like missing any application deadlines, right? I want you guys to remember that when an application deadline says like September 1st or November 1st, if you have, then let's kind of like look at this thing. So let me share my screen with you guys just so that you guys can see exactly what I am talking about. Participating programs. Okay. So here you see all these like colors here, this green, this orange, blue, white. These are all of the deadlines. Okay. And so at the top of this, it says program deadline requirements. It gives you the blue deadline, orange deadline, green deadline, and white deadline. So let's read what these mean, right? So blue deadline means application must be submitted by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the deadline date. Program materials do not have to be received by the deadline. So let's look at what program materials are. Did I click that? I don't know. It's not work. There we go. Okay. If the specific program you're applying to have any additional application requirements, use this section to provide requested information. CASPA program materials. Okay, so the program materials section includes additional information and requirements. The questions documents tab is only available for certain programs. The prerequisites tab is only available. So these are all of the things like prerequisites documents, and like their home tab, like some of that special information. All of those do not have to be received by that deadline, but the application itself must be submitted by 11:59. Okay, that's what it's saying here. Orange deadline says at least you have to have the application, payments, transcripts, at least 2 letters of recommendation. They all have to be submitted by 11:59 on the deadline date. Okay. So these are some of those program materials that would not have had to have been done in this blue deadline aspect over here, but orange, it has to be in there. Okay. Green deadlines, application must be verified. And that is what I'm talking about. So CASPA takes up to 2 weeks to verify your application. So once I hit submit, that is not a verification of my application. That is just a submission of my application. And some of these, like the blue deadline, you can submit your stuff while you're still getting some of this other information in. But if it needs to be verified, that is like one step further. That means they've gone through, they've looked at your GRE stuff, they verify that that is accurate, they've looked at all of your letters of recommendation, everything. CASPA has got it done. Your application is ready and good to go. That has to be done with the green deadline. And then the white deadline says program has not reported its deadline requirements, meaning like whatever. You would have to either look at the program's website and see what those requirements are or call them. Okay. And it says to ensure your application is verified on time, try to complete your application at least 4 weeks before the deadline. And so going back to your question, Nessa, if I was actually interested in this, obviously I'm way more than 4 weeks because we can, I think, yeah, let me just go back because Emory was a green deadline, which means that it needed to have been verified by the time of the deadline date, which is September 1st. So therefore, if you're doing this by July 1st, you have August, all the month of August, and then in this, into September. So from July to August and then August to September. So you have 2 months, essentially 8 weeks of time to actually be verified. And get all that in. But I like to at least have like a month to 2 months, even 3 months if you can do it or greater, prior of application time prior to actually sending off an application. Future Doc Quinn says University of Pitt's hybrid program. It's new. Oh, okay, cool. I'll definitely look into that. Maybe it's a developing program. And Christina says, can you take the MCAT in replacement of the GRE? So yes and no. All right. There are some schools that will allow you to use your MCAT scores in replacement of the GRE, but that is like very few and far between. The majority of programs require you to have the GRE because it's grad school and not med school. But if like for whatever reason, they know that some of you all like were interested in medicine and going into medical school, and so you took the MCAT initially. And so if you've taken the MCAT, some schools will allow you to actually use the MCAT score in place of your GRE score, but that's not every program. And so you just have to look at what their program requirements are, look at what their standardized test requirements or recommendations are, and then you can submit it based on that. But that's typically how it goes. GRE and PA CAT are really becoming the kings of the PA school application process. All right, so that is it. That's it for Emory for today, you guys. Obviously, this rebroadcast will be on my channel, so you can look at it at any point in time. We did one school last week, and we're doing Emory this week, and maybe we'll do Yale next week if I continue to get more, or Rush or Loyola. I don't know. We'll see. I'll make sure to leave your comments on what schools you want left in the comment section below, and then I will make sure to actually look at that and see what you guys are asking me to do. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Adanna PA and on Instagram at Get That's University. I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.